Hi INFJs and Autistic INFJs, welcome back to my channel. If you've spent your entire life trying to fit in and still feel like you don't belong, maybe the problem isn't you. Even though if you're like me, we beat ourselves up about being us, being the problem in so many different ways. Maybe the problem is you've been looking in the wrong places. For most of my life, I carried this quiet ache inside of me. Like, no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't fit in. I mean, not even a little. I could be in a room full of people and still feel completely alone. And in today's video, I want to share something that took me far too long to figure out. This realization that finally helped me stop asking what the heck was wrong with me. And it might be just a realization that maybe you needed to hear too today. So in today's video, which was a request from you viewers, and thank you so much for that. I love the requests that come in. It's from a neurodivergent perspective because, well, I'm a neurodivergent, so that's the only true perspective that I can really give. So if you're an INFJ who's also wired differently, who masks, who feels things very deeply and doesn't connect the way others seem to, this is especially for you. I'm going to share a piece of my story and a way to look at belonging that might help change how you see your entire past. That's my goal today. So welcome to my channel. If we haven't met, my name's Trina. I'm an autistic INFJ. I help INFJs and neurodivergent INFJs unmask and remember who they were before the world told them who they weren't. Through coaching, classes, and community, we unlearn the noise and come back home to our soul. So I hope you find my channel helpful. I'm glad you found it. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm glad that you came back. If you haven't yet, I invite you to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate your support. Your support helps me come back and do these videos for you some more, and I love doing them. Okay, let's get into this. Let's talk about something I call belonging burnout. You're going to have to excuse me. I am still fighting a head cold here, or allergies. I don't really know what it is, but it's something going on. So I'm a little bit stuffy. So my apologies if my words sound muffled. So belonging burnout. I know that one came out a little muffled at first. It's what happens when we spend years, maybe even decades for some of us, trying to fit into environments that just don't get us at all. We try to laugh at the right time. We try to dress the way everybody else dresses. We try to water ourselves down. We might even hide our neurodivergence. We become what the room needs at the expense of our own nervous system. And for a while, it works, sort of. We blend in just enough to not get rejected yet again, right? But deep down, we're exhausted and we feel bad in our skin for constantly feeling like a fake failure. That was the best way I could describe it, because that's how I always felt, that I was failing and I was being fake because I knew this just wasn't me. So I called myself a fake failure. And yet we still feel like an outsider. We do all that and we still feel like the outsider. And eventually that internal ache turns into burnout. Not from doing too much, but from never being allowed to be ourselves. That comes with a really high cost for us. Now, here's where it got real for me. I grew up around people that had very different values than I did. I'm not saying they were bad people. There's lots of wonderful people, but they were very different than I was, okay? I was surrounded by what you'd call a redneck crowd, the tough, old school, there is only one right way kind of thinker, okay? And if you're not on that train of thought with them, you're completely wrong. And it's not a judgment. I'm not judging them. It works for them, and that's really all that matters. It's just that it didn't work for me. It was not me. I was never that person, right? But I kept trying to be that person because that's what was expected of me. That was who I was supposed to find connection with. That was what was available in my area. It's all I knew. So I tried. I really tried hard. And I could not fit in with them. So it really made me question what was wrong with me. But every time I showed up in those spaces, I felt like I had to chop off pieces of who I was just to get by, just to maybe sort of fit in that day. And when it still didn't work, when I still felt way out of place, I didn't question the environment. No, I questioned myself instead and made myself feel bad and put myself on a guilt trip and beat myself up about it. I thought maybe I really was too sensitive, too weird, too quiet, too stupid, too much. Maybe I wasn't enough. All of that would run through my brain all the time. And the truth is, I wasn't broken. I was just trying to belong in the wrong places. The turning point for me was this realization. You can't belong where your nervous system is never safe. It's just not possible. You can't belong where you can't breathe, okay? And so I started pulling away from places that I was supposed to go to, right? Those loud events, the small talk scenes, the gossipy circles that thrive on surface and performance. Those places that I was expected to be the normal person, I started pulling away from them. I stopped trying to show up where I had felt I had to prove myself just to be accepted. And instead, I started following what actually felt like me. So I started following my curiosity. I explored my creativity. I let myself look for people who were soft and deep and weird like me. And that's exactly why I created my off-social media community, Divergence Rising, because it's really hard to connect with those people. So this is a space for INFJs and neurodivergent INFJs who are tired of pretending and just want to feel seen. There's no hiding, no surface talk, just real connection, real conversation with people who get it, who have been there, who have lived the same kind of life that you have lived. If this is something you're interested in, I'll leave the link in the description of this video so you can learn more about it. Here's something that nobody ever told me growing up. Belonging isn't about fitting in. It's about being seen without shrinking. It's kind of a big deal. And sometimes we don't find that until we stop looking where we were told to look. We find it when we stop forcing ourselves into environments that drain us. It's like when we were kids, we would be doing these puzzles, right? And sometimes, kids get puzzle pieces all mixed up. So you'll have some pieces from another puzzle and you're trying to squish those pieces into this puzzle. And you can clearly see it's not going to fit in there because it's a complete different color than what you're working on. It doesn't match any of the colors of the puzzles that you're working on, but you're still trying to squeeze it in there. It's not ever going to fit. It's never going to work. It's never going to fit in that puzzle. That's kind of what it's like. And yes, that might mean starting over. It might mean walking away from people you've known for years. But it also means finally creating space to connect with people who speak our language, people who feel like home, not hard work. And that's powerful. You're not too sensitive. You're not too weird or too broken. You're just wired for real connection. And that kind of connection doesn't live in loud rooms or shallow waters, right? We have to make space. We have to go out and find our people instead of trying to fit with the ones who just don't get us. Your people will find you when you start doing this, or maybe you'll find yourself. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I truly do. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this if you struggle to fit in. I know I wrote a book. I've shared this before. And one of the lines in one of the chapters, my opening line in the chapter, stated the loneliest I've ever been was with a group of people. And it kind of fits with this video, and it's so true. That's exactly it. The loneliest I've ever been was with a group of people who I didn't fit in with. So let me know in the comments if you can relate to any of this. Thanks for joining me. I hope it was helpful. Again, I invite you to like this video. Feel free to share it. The more times it's shared, the more INFJs we get to help, and that's what it's all about. And subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate the support. My next video, you might want to stay tuned for coming up later this week is When Your Empathy Hurts, INFJ, Sensory Overload, and Emotional Burnout. It's going to be a great one. Stay tuned for that. And again, if you want more information on my off-social community, the link is in the description of this video. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.